Dreamlight Valley is available on every single platform right now. But the real question right now is it worth your money and how well does it actually run? So I decided to pick up the game on both the Nintendo Switch and the PC to compare both of those and see how both of those look, feel, and play. And spoiler alert, I am pleasantly surprised. For those who haven't come across this game, it's Disney's version of a life sim, and somewhat similar to the likes of Animal Crossing, but with Disney characters to hang out with instead. And yes, there is a relationship mechanic, but no, you cannot date the Disney villagers, okay? And yes, I have been asked whether you can do that. Not only is there a story to this game, but there's also so many things to do, from helping out Disney characters to fishing, mining, decorating, farming, and loads of other stuff on top of this. It's also a game that will develop and improve over time as it's in early access. And something I wasn't expecting was the fact that it offers seasonal events. In fact, there's one happening right this second. I just love the fact that this makes me low-key feel like I'm in Disneyland. Although eventually this game will be free to play, as of right now, there is no way to play the early access of this game without spending money. So if you want it for free, you're just gonna have to wait until 2023 when they release it. To get access to the game, you can purchase one of 3 different Founders Packs, each of which also come with the game. You have the standard pack at $29.99, the deluxe pack at $49.99, and the ultimate for $69.99. And yes, I did buy the ultimate edition, and no, I regret nothing. Moving on. Whichever Founders Pack you buy, the gameplay will be identical for each and every one of them. The only thing that changes with each Founders Pack is the number of cosmetic items you start with in the game, and that's it. Something to keep in mind, at least on the Nintendo Switch anyway, you can't upgrade your Founders Pack once you've bought it. So just take a look at the list, decide which items you really want and which ones you can live without, and pick your Founders Packs because you can't change it later. The last thing to bear in mind is that although this game does have cross progression, aka you can play your same save file across all the platforms except PlayStation because for some reason they won't allow crossplay, you do however need to purchase a Founders Pack for each and every console you play on, which really freaking sucks, but it is what it is. The first thing you'll come across when you load up this game is the character creation. And oh my god, I absolutely love it. I could have spent 3 hours on just deciding which hair I wanted. But once you've done your character, what do you actually do in the game? I was actually really surprised that not only is there a story to this game, there was also cutscenes too. You enter Dreamlight Valley through a dream, only to be told by Merlin that this must mean you possess magical powers, and that you were brought to Dreamlight Valley to save it. And as you can see, Dreamlight Valley is in a bit of a sorry state. Not only does saving the town involve cleaning up all the vines, you're also tasked with helping individual Disney characters get settled back in, gradually bringing Dreamlight Valley back to life. As you progress, the game introduces more characters, which in turn opens up more shops and things to do in the town. So far, the 3 main characters that kind of do stuff around your town are Merlin, Duck McScrooge, and Goofy. But I've also seen the likes of Mickey and Moana so far. Merlin is kind of the main story guy. He gives you large overarching quests to do that take a lot longer. For Goofy, you just kind of fix up his shop where he sells seeds and other items to you, and you can also sell items to Goofy to get money. Also, Goofy was incredibly inappropriate while I took his photo. What is he doing? Like, sir. And Scrooge owns this wonderful shop where I immediately fell in love with this dress. I knew I was probably gonna really like this game. What I didn't expect was that I was gonna completely fall in love with it instead. And whilst the beginning of the game is quite a lot of fun, it's only really when you get to unlock realms that the magic really begins. It's not even just seeing the characters, it's the setting the characters are in and the beautiful themed music that plays behind them whilst you're running around doing their quests. And once every single quest is done, they then ask to move into Dreamlight Valley with you, where you get to pick exactly where they live and you can decorate the outside of their house. And the really cool thing about this is there is so much potential going forward with this game. Think of all the franchises they can cover, such as the standard Disney franchises to things like Treasure Planet themed items and characters, because We all know that movie is so underrated. And we can either go to newer franchises that Disney have acquired, like Star Wars, Marvel, and even Grey's Anatomy, because I mean, who doesn't want to meet Meredith Grey? So yeah, this game kind of falls into some of the more standard life sim elements, but I think I underestimated the sheer power that nostalgia can have over you. I genuinely thought when I first saw this game that it was going to be more like a mobile game. Something that you pick up, you play for 10 minutes while you're on the toilet or something like that, and you only occasionally go back to. And whilst this game doesn't quite have the look or feel of a AAA game, it's definitely reached this really nice balance between the two that makes it perfect for casual gamers. And another way this game doesn't feel like a mobile game is with the mechanics of the game. I know the energy mechanic worried so many of us when we first saw it in the game, but fear not, it's actually so much better than we thought it was going to be. So when you run out of energy, you can either eat something, or you can literally just walk into your house and get energy back instantly. You don't even need a bed. You just go through the door, boom, full energy. How do we get this in real life though? I'd love to just walk into my flat and like, boom, be energized. It'd be a dream come true. The game is based on real life time. However, unlike the likes of Animal Crossing, I didn't feel limited by it at all. For example, your crops grow in 5 minutes instead of taking whole real life days. And when you upgrade a building, it happens instantly. None of this come back tomorrow and it'll be built malarkey. And so far, none of the mechanics I've seen rely on the passing of real life days, which I absolutely love. Does anyone remember when you first got Animal Crossing and day one you wanted to play it so badly, but everything you wanted to do wouldn't be unlocked till one whole day had passed? None of that exists in this game, so if you want to sit down and play for 6 hours non-stop day one, you can absolutely do that. No one wants to feel limited when they've booked a whole day off to play games, do they? Not only do you have the story to do, you can also decorate your house both inside and outside, craft, fish, and feed the squirrels. How cute is that? Like a real Disney princess. Also, using a controller is surprisingly intuitive. I actually think a controller is the better way to play this rather than keyboard and mouse, which I honestly wasn't expecting. Let's get on to the bit everyone's really excited for, and this is how the game runs. First up is the Nintendo Switch, and honestly, I'm pleasantly surprised. It's definitely a step up from the mobile phone experience I thought it was going to be, and it runs at a solid 30-ish FPS. I'm honestly not sure it's holding 30 at all times, but it's definitely somewhere around there. Frame drops do happen every so often, but they aren't massive. The graphics themselves look pretty decent and better than I was expecting. It's only really the shadows that let the game down. And the only real slow point I found with this game was opening up the menus, which took a solid couple of seconds to open. I'm not gonna lie, after a couple of hours of playing, it did get a little bit frustrating that you had to wait a couple of seconds for the map to even load. But again, the rest of the game ran pretty smoothly. The other issues I found that were exclusive to the Switch was the events tab wouldn't load at all, even though I knew there was an event going on, so you couldn't even participate in that. And the cloud save was not behaving at all. Some people have also reported the game crashing, but it does have an autosave option that saves often, so it wasn't too bad. And I personally, after 4 or 5 hours, still haven't seen it crash at all. However, I also bought the game on PC, and here it is on the maximum graphic settings you can possibly have. And you can see quite a difference. Just look at my Mickey Mouse ears on this version. It is freaking stunning. Not only do the graphics just look a little bit better, the game is definitely smoother and looks to be running at a solid 60 FPS minimum. And the menus loaded instantly, the events tab was there, and the cloud save was working. So Switch is definitely a bit more buggy than the PC version. But honestly, there wasn't as big a difference as I was expecting considering the power of my PC. One other thing I want to quickly point out is that this game is right now in early access. The downside to this is to expect some bugs and a lot of patches to come over the next few weeks. But this also means that right now, this is the least amount of content we will ever have for this game. On the FAQs, it says, as of day one, the main story of Dreamlight Valley will take around 30 plus hours to complete. And then if you include all the individual character-focused story arcs outside of the main narrative, you can expect to take around 70 plus hours to complete this. On the FAQ, they stated that they're looking to bring in way more characters over the period of early access. Of course, with every update, there might be additional bugs, but I'm really excited to see even more content. Now we're on to the question I have been asked the most when I was playing this game on stream, and that is, how do you even get the items you've paid so much money for? And the answer is the mailbox. All the items you get with the Founders Packs and the ones you get for owning the game in the first week will be sent to you in the mailbox. However, it did take until I finished the tutorial for the email to even show up for me. One thing that took me way too long to figure out is that you can't change your pet while you're inside a building. You have to go outside of the building, and then you'll see the little tab for your creatures, and you can go into that and change your pets. Also, I'm so happy that you can change literally everything about your appearance, even the stuff you set right at the beginning, just through this tab. And can we take a moment to admire the items that are in this game? Have you ever wanted a farm in a ballroom dress? Because you can do that. You can do that. The only thing I don't quite understand is you get a nice headdress, you get a dress, but they don't give you shoes, so you can't look good from head to toe. No, you've got to either go barefoot or wear freaking trainers, which are a vibe, but also I want to feel like a princess. So give me princess shoes. So far, I am loving this game, and I definitely think for the base Founders Pack price, there is more than enough content to keep you going, and it is a great purchase. For the Deluxe and Ultimate Edition, it's kind of up to you to decide. I can't tell you whether the cosmetic items are worth 70 quid or not. However, I can tell you that I regret nothing, and I love how fancy I look in the game. There are going to be plenty of things to buy later on, so do not worry if you only got one of the base Founders Packs. You will get plenty of cosmetic items later on. For any other questions, including all the items you can receive in each of the Founders Packs, click here. I have a full list of all of them, and I'll be playing this on stream for the rest of the week, so I'd love to see you there. Bye.